LGBTQ community.
The rides are open. The food is cooking and people have...
And Dollywood reopens, but with several precautions in place.
We'll continue to see the cooler temperatures as we head into your Tuesday. I'll have a look at that forecast right now at 5:30.
Dedicated to Southern and Eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. We have learned in the last few days of a spike in COVID-19 cases in several eastern Kentucky counties. First, the state update. Governor Beshear held his first COVID-19 briefing since Thursday, about an hour and a half ago. The governor announced 205 new cases and 6 new deaths in Kentucky. Now, 85 cases and 1 death is from Sunday. 120 cases and 5 deaths are from today. Kentucky's death toll from COVID-19 has now surpassed 500. It's at 505, and 12,647 people in the state have contracted the virus. 3,416 people have recovered. And for more on COVID-19 in eastern Kentucky, you can go to our website, WYMT.com. I do want to read an update we've just received from the Cumberland Valley District Health Department. They are reporting a significant spike in COVID-19 cases in the counties they cover, which is Clay, Jackson, Rockcastle. In Clay County, there are 7 new cases, bringing the county's total to 19, and most of those have been just in the last couple of weeks. Of those, several are associated with the Solid Rock Church in Burning Springs. Now, in Jackson County, there are 12 new confirmed cases, bringing that county's total number to 73, one of the hardest hit counties in our viewing area, in large part due to that nursing home there in Jackson County. But they have 12 new cases, and one of those cases is an employee of Jackson County's banks, the Jackson County Bank's main office there in McKee. There's also 2 new cases in Rockcastle County. Now, this comes after we've learned of other spikes in other counties across our region since Friday. There's another several cases in Perry County related to a church. We're going to have more on that tonight at 6. Also, Pike County is now up to 50 cases as of the weekend. So quite a few more cases have been reported in eastern Kentucky since Friday. We'll continue, of course, to update you on those as we go along. A bit of good news, there's no deaths reported in eastern Kentucky over the last few days, or the ones the governor mentioned today. No new deaths. Again, we'll keep you updated. At least 9 states have reported record increases in coronavirus cases during the past 3 days. Texas is one of those states. Hospitalization rates are at a record high there. Former FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb says that some of these outbreaks should not be surprising.
States like Texas, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, where you see those outbreaks right now, never really reduced the number of cases substantially. They had spread, it was persistent, and now it's flaring up.
The uptick in cases does not seem to be slowing states from reopening. At least 19 states reported increases in their average new COVID-19 cases compared to about 2 weeks ago. The U.S. Supreme Court made a landmark ruling today protecting members of the LGBTQ community from job discrimination. In a 6-3 vote, the court ruled the Civil Rights Act covers gay and transgender workers. Chelsea Jones talked to Kentuckians about what this means moving forward.
It's now illegal for employers to discriminate against LGBTQ workers.
And it is time to stop.
Some activists are shocked by the U.S. Supreme Court ruling, including the Lexington Human Rights Commission.
When this case was up to be ruled, I honestly didn't think it would go this way.
But it's a long-awaited development for workers who have lost their jobs due to sexual orientation and gender identity.
I got to thinking, knowing potentially how many other of my students were in a similar situation, and knowing my own personal background, was it at all ethical to remain in the closet myself where I had been for 30 years?
Nicholas Briner says he lost his job after coming out on Instagram. He says he made the move after one of his students attempted suicide for being gay. Activists are now hoping that a ruling from a conservative U.S. Supreme Court will inspire conservative Kentucky lawmakers.
I think we've got a much stronger case now for the statewide fairness law.
Members of the Kentucky ACLU say they'll keep fighting for LGBTQ protections. They already have a game plan for the next legislative session.
But we'll be back at it with the bill to ban conversion therapy.
They say they plan to fight against the transgender bathroom bill and bills that prevent transgender youth from participating in sports or receiving gender-affirming care. In Lexington, Chelsea Jones, WKYT.
LGBTQ rights activists say the Supreme Court's ruling is a step in the right direction, but there are other issues to deal with, such as LGBTQ discrimination in housing and public accommodations. The Railbird Festival 2020 is now canceled. The announcement was made on the event's website. The Post says Railbird will return to the grounds at Keeneland in Lexington August 20th through the 21st of 2021. Current ticket holders will have the opportunity to retain their tickets for 2021. To do so, you have to log into your Front Gate account and select the rollover option before Monday, July 13th at 8 p.m. All ticket holders who do not select the rollover option will be automatically refunded. It is a big day in East Tennessee. Dollywood, of course, closed for the last few months after opening for just one day, but now the park is welcoming guests back. Kyle Granger found out there's a lot of changes, but people could not wait to get back.
One of the things that you're going to notice at Dollywood are several hundred more sanitizing stations, like 50 of these sinks that have been put all across the park so that folks can wash their hands more frequently. The rides are open, the food is cooking, and people have returned to Tennessee's most popular ticketed attraction.
We was here March 13th.
For the one day?
And Dollywood, and we're here today, we're here tomorrow, we're here July 6th, we're here July 16th, we're here, we come quite a bit.
Dollywood is back open at half capacity. First to season pass holders. Dollywood says on the first day, they've had no complaints about the requirement to wear masks. Guests we found in the new relaxation zone were looking for a break.
It's okay, but the mask gets hot. But other than that, it's fine.
Dollywood has had to keep closed some attractions and all indoor theaters, which some people were missing on opening day.
It's nice, but it's disappointing that hardly anything's open. The shows especially, that's what we like.
There's 700 operational changes across the park, which changes everything from how you dine to how you wait in line. Every ride, every building, every inch of the park reevaluated to adhere to the Tennessee Pledge.
I think that our guests have been patient. We've been as impatient as you can imagine that we have been to try to get reopened, but we think that this is the right time.
Dollywood says it may make modifications with some of these new regulations as they see what works, what doesn't, and how to improve all of it. I'm Kyle Granger reporting.
Today and tomorrow's opening is just for season pass holders. Everyone else can go to Dollywood this Wednesday.
Well, we saw those rain chances return once again today. Well, for some of us, others remain mostly on the dry side. I know we had a pop-up storm here in Hazard, definitely hit my house. Made me want to take a little bit of a nap. We're going to take you up to some of those cameras. Looking along Interstate 75 in London, looks like they've actually remained mostly on the dry side, but they've seen the gloomy clouds kind of throughout the day of the scattered showers and thunderstorms that have been around the area. Looking outside the front porch at WYMT, now seeing some sunshine, but possibly some storm clouds there in the distance as we are still dealing with just a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. You can see it here on Pinpoint Doppler, and I said very few. You can see down into parts of Whitley County, even down into Tennessee. A few pop-ups, or you're just seeing kind of some over into Wise County, Virginia, a little bit into Letcher, and one right there on the border there in Perry County and over into Knott County. But most of us remaining on that dry side heading into the rest of the evening hours. Temperatures right now into about the lower 70s, some spots into the upper 60s, so very comfortable temperatures, and those continue tonight. We'll only see temperatures drop into about those mid to upper 50s, few clouds here and there, and the cooler trend continues tomorrow as well. I'll have a look at tomorrow's forecast coming up in a little bit.
All right, thank you, Paige. In times of disaster, the U.S. Small Business Administration tries to help. It provides loans for uninsured and underinsured damages. Now they want to help more people impacted by those severe storms and flooding back in February. WYMT's Lacey Roberts talked to a representative in our region.
Assisting with damages due to severe storms, flooding, landslides, and mudslides.
The Kentucky Small Business Development Center is here to serve.
As the name suggests, they help businesses. And in response to a letter from Governor Andy Beshear requesting disaster declaration by the SBA, more loans are now available.
Faith-based organizations, homeowners, renters, those that are affected by the flood.
Samuel Coleman is the local director of the Southeast Kentucky region for SBA.
And they like somebody with feet on the ground. You know, this is my home.
His own experiences.
I walked down in the lower level, and as I stepped off that last step, my foot said kersplash.
And lending knowledge allow him to better assess the situation. There are 3 different loans that are available. The first, business physical disaster loans. That's repairing physical property damage to any business. Secondly, economic injury disaster loans. That's helping businesses financially as a result of a disaster. And lastly, home disaster loans. That's for homeowners or renters to repair damage or property loss.
By applying, you give yourself all the flexibility. Okay? Don't apply, then you have absolutely no flexibility.
Saying help is where you find it. Lacey Roberts, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, the counties eligible for assistance are Bell, Harlan, Whitley, Clay, Knox, Laurel, Leslie, Letcher, McCreary, and Perry counties. The deadline to apply for assistance is July 31st. You can find the link to apply on our website at WYMT.com. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, a rundown of ways you could get help paying your student loans.
We'll be more on the dry side for your Tuesday, but scattered showers and storms continue throughout the rest of the work week and possibly into the weekend. I'll have a look at that 7-day forecast coming up.